Welcome to Talkin' Shit, the podcast where we get real about the unfiltered truths women face in the quest for perfection. I'm Jana, your host, a dietitian and fellow woman navigating the pressure to have it all together, the perfect body, career, relationships, and making it all look effortless. Who set that standard anyway? Here, we're calling out the diet fads, hustle culture, beauty standards, and everything else that keeps us feeling stuck. But we're not just venting, we're diving into how to break free and rewrite the rules on your terms. So, grab a coffee or a glass of wine and let's talk some shit. Together, we'll uncover how to live a life that's unapologetically yours. This is Talkin' Shit. Let's dive in. Before we get into today's episode, I want to take a quick moment to share something special with you. If you're tired of dieting and feeling like food has more control over your life than you'd like, I want you to know there is another way. Inside my monthly membership, the Healthy Body Collective, women are losing weight and they're healing their relationship with food, balancing their blood sugar, and finally feeling confident and in control of their bodies again. This isn't about restriction, perfection, or quick fixes. It's about learning how to eat, how to support your metabolism, and how to build habits that actually work in real life. If you're ready for sustainable weight loss, calmer cravings, and support that truly meets you where you are, I would love to welcome you inside. You can learn more and join the Healthy Body Collective through the link in the show notes, or feel free to send me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions. Now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the Talkin' Shit podcast. Today is going to be a solo episode because today marks 1 year of the Talkin' Shit podcast. And to be very honest with you all, I couldn't believe it. I had previously this podcast, just to give you some context, this podcast was previously called Nourish You. And I had the podcast, I think a little under a year, and it was growing, but I was really a lot more hesitant with it. It didn't seem to really fit. I love the name. I love the idea of nourishing or nurturing your body, but it just didn't feel bold enough. And at that time, I was working with a business coach and I was tapped out, very exhausted, had been coaching throughout the pandemic and hearing from the West Coast to the East Coast, hearing individual stories, and everyone had a different opinion. Being isolated, living alone, not having access to things that we typically had access to. And I was just over it. And so I had to take a step back. This is a saying that I share with my coaching clients. I needed to slow down in order to speed up. And I really needed to get clear on what I really wanted to share with the world, if you will, the space that's within my world. And so I stopped that podcast because I didn't want to do one more thing. I didn't want to just do it to do it and do it with no passion behind it or no purpose behind it. That's not how I like to do things. And typically, if I'm doing something and there's no passion or purpose behind it, it doesn't last for long. And so I paused it and I started with being able to just really assess what was going to work best for me. All right, give me a second. I somehow Read AI popped in, so you might hear that being removed. Anywho, so I took that step back. I really got to a space where I was spending time in the morning with myself and with God and journaling and trying to figure out, if you will, if I even wanted to do podcasting again. And I decided that yes, I 100% wanted to do podcasting again because I love this outlet to be able to communicate with others. I also love the ability to bring in other experts and you all just be able to tune in and have access to information in that way. And I really wanted to hone my abilities as a public speaker. or a speaker in general. And I find this to be a really fun outlet to do that. So I decided with that I was going to connect with CMAC, which is a organization in the Fresno area that helps with media production, and they also help with podcasting. And they were the ones that helped me with my introduction, my outro, and being able to do some filming. And I decided that I wanted to be more bold and I wanted to use some cuss words and I wanted to show myself more authentically. Because if you know me more in my inner circle, I am actually pretty quiet. I observe a lot of things. I'm very introspective and I cuss a lot. I can throw out the F bomb. I can say shit. I can, whatever. I think it gives our stories a little bit more power. Now, I do it tactfully, but I still do it. And I know other people do it as well. And maybe you're chuckling at this because maybe you do it too. And fun fact, research apparently shows that if you can throw a cuss word in there every now and then, you actually are more authentic. So what do you know? So I wanted this next version of the podcast to show more of who I really am without the fear of being judged for truly who I am. And that was a big thing because I am by default a people pleaser. I am a perfectionist. I want to be validated. I want you to like me. These are some of my core traits that actually through therapy I've been working through because yes, I can be a people pleaser and also maybe your opinion doesn't matter at this point in time. And I share that because I really think that we've gotten off track as it relates to our health and our well being, and really made it about false narratives and ideals that just are not realistic. And they keep pushing the standard further and further away from what reality actually looks like and what can be obtained by the majority of individuals. And as that standard keeps getting higher and higher, more and more individuals feel like they can't achieve it, like they're failures, or like they don't even want to engage in it because it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't even sound realistic. It doesn't even sound like something they want to do for a week. And so I want to change that narrative. I want to share with you all the real stuff. Now, do I think we need a higher standard of healthcare? 100%. But that looks different for each person. And my job as your dietitian, as your health coach, as however you want to label me, is to meet you where you are and align you with your goals for your health. And so many times I meet individuals and the goals for their health are simply based on what other people have established for them. Oh, my doctor told me I need to do this. Oh, my mother told me I need to do this. Oh, my best friend said this is the best thing. It's always from other people. I don't care about other people. Let me just be very real with you. I don't care about other people because if I'm coaching them, I care about them. And in this situation, I care about you. What is your goal for your health? And so often we have never, ever thought about that. So my job is to meet you where you are, to be super realistic with that. Like real shit happens, right? Shit happens like on the daily. So how do you, knowing that, right? Like if we're honest, I listen to a church online called Transformation Church, and they call themselves a hot church. And I love the acronym because it stands for humble, open and transparent. And that's something that I love in the coaching space is I want to work with you in a humble space. Yes, I am an expert. I have an alphabet soup after my name. It's ridiculous. And I know a lot about a lot in the health space. However, you are an expert in you. And so I consider myself an equal to you in the coaching space because together we come in a mutual relationship to just be super humble, super open, and super transparent about what is really going on and to understand how can we start shifting these so that you can actually achieve your goals for your health. And I have found time and time again when we are not humble because our ego does not, and I'm included in this, right? Like, yes, I am an expert, but also I am a human too. Our ego has to be humbled because sometimes it might sound like, oh, yeah, going for a 15-minute walk sounds super easy, but are you doing it? Are you doing that consistently? If the answer is no, then in some way we have to be humbled because it's not easy enough for you. And that is 100% okay. I don't care. And I'm air quoting for those of you that are tuning in. I don't care how easy you think it is. The question is, are you doing it? Because the doing is what gets you to the results that you are looking to achieve, not the thinking about it. You've probably thought about it for years. You've probably struggled with it for years. It's about the doing. So we have to be super humble about where you are, not where you think you should be. The next one is open. So, well, actually, humble. I also say like honesty because in the coaching space, and what I've found to be helpful in my own journey with health and healing and being able to go to the next level, whatever that means, is I had to get really, really honest with myself. So humble and honest. I had to be honest of the fact that I was not taking ownership and accountability of the things that I said I wanted to achieve, whether that be in your health, whether that be in your career, whether that be in your relationships, whatever it be. For me, and maybe you resonate with this, but I realized I wasn't being honest with myself or with others. I kept saying I wanted these things, but if someone were to like, I envision this as like, if someone were to look down on your day to day and see all the things that you do, would they be able, without you saying anything to them, would they be able to identify that, yes, that actually was something that you were trying to achieve, or yes, actually, that was something that you valued, or yes, that actually is something that you are actively going towards? If that little person up above isn't able to say, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I can totally tell that health is a value for them and that they want to be healthy, then what the heck is happening? Right? Why can't that person identify it? Why can't you identify it, right? Like where is it on your schedule? So I share this because I realized in my own journey I was saying one thing and I was doing something completely different, to the point where if someone were to look at my day to day, they would not be able to identify that that was actually a goal of mine. So I had to get really honest with myself and say, okay, are you going to change what you say or are you going to change what you do? Because either one can change, right? Like, so if you say that health is a priority to you, where is that in your lifestyle? Where is that in your schedule? Where is that for people to know that, oh, yes, I can tell that is a priority for you? If you can't even tell that, or if someone else can't even tell that, maybe just stop saying it, right? Like you have the opportunity to change either or. You can change what you're saying or you can change what you're doing. And just know that that's going to get you the results whether you like it or not, right? Like if you have the opportunity, you don't have to change. You don't have to do anything in all reality. Like if we're honest, like you don't have to do anything, but there is something inside of you that is asking you to do something. And that's the voice that we want to tune into. Okay, the next one is open. We have to be open to being coached, to being supported, to being vulnerable, to change. We have to be open to that. Something that I ask my coaching clients often is, how would you describe your mindset? That's a powerful question, because if your mindset is fixed or closed or exhausted or overwhelmed, well, that is one of the barriers to achieving your goals. If your mindset is open and excited and um, ready to seek support, that's a completely different conversation, right? Like, we can do so much more with that. But what is your mindset? Are you open? Like, are you open to receiving feedback that maybe you don't like to hear? There is a saying in coaching that you can only change the extent that you see yourself fully and do not run. And I share this with you, and I want you to know this about me as your coach is I've done the work. I've had coaches for years. I've had multiple coaches. I've had business coaches. I've worked with other dietitians. I've had mindset coaches. The coaching space can be hard because it is someone else providing you with feedback that maybe you can't see. And again, sometimes it's an ego check. Sometimes it's a gut check. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to hear that because I don't want to have to do the work to be able to change that. Again, totally honest, totally being open with you. Like, there's been multiple times where I'm like, I understand that that is probably a limiting factor in me getting what I say I want. And also, I'm unwilling to put in the effort in order to change that. Period. It's okay to say that as well. So I give you permission to be able to choose the journey that you want for yourself. And then transparent. Oh, this is a big one. This is a really big one because we want to create transparency for you and also in your relationship with others. And that looks different for each person, and that shows up differently for each person. But it's no more hiding. A lot of women that I work with have shared like they hide their struggle with their weight. They hide their struggle with food. They really keep it secret, and they don't want other people to know that they really struggle with it. That is going to keep you stuck. That is going to keep you in the same cycle that you are frustrated with. And it's going to keep you with the results that you currently have. We want to create more transparency in your relationship with yourself, in your relationship with food, and to be able to best support you, because a lot of people are struggling with nutrition. A lot of people struggle with their weight. And yet, for so many, and maybe you resonate with this, you isolate and you think, oh, I'll just figure it out on my own, or I can handle this, or oh, I should already know what to do. And the reality is, in the name of honesty, you don't. Because if you did, you would have the results that you were looking for. So that's what I want to achieve here in this space of the Talkin' Shit podcast, is to be really real with you in the name of love, in the name of compassion, in the name of ownership and accountability. I want to hold us to, and myself to, a higher standard. A standard of being humble, a standard of being honest, a standard of being open and transparent. Because when we have those values present, it creates this buzzword that we all are saying, or maybe you're hearing and maybe you're over it too, but it creates that transformation. It creates that change or the shift that you are looking for so that you can better align with you. And that is my goal as your coach, It's not to align with what I think is best for you. It's to align with what you know is best for you. So I wanted to take this time to celebrate 1 year to just share a little bit more about the story behind Talkin' Shit podcast, the story behind the coaching space, the story a little bit about me and my coaching philosophy so that you got to know me in a really genuine and authentic way, because we need more genuine and authentic people that can truly be trusted. So I thank you so much. We are almost at over 3,000 downloads to this podcast in year one. And I'm just, from the bottom of my heart, I am so thankful and give you so much gratitude for those of you that have tuned in week after week and who have sent me messages on Instagram or Facebook or text me and just said, this message really resonated with me. That means the world. So I encourage you to continue to do that. Share with me. I want to know, I want to serve you, and I want to be really, really real with you so that we can continue to talk shit and be able to support you in achieving all that you desire for your health and well-being. So thank you again. It's been such an honor, and I'm excited to continue this moving forward into year 2. This has been Talkin' Shit. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up or leave a review on the Apple Podcast app. If you want more episodes, click that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more, visit healthwins.org. Talkin' Shit is produced and hosted by me, Jana. This production is also made possible by the Community Media Access Collaborative. Learn more at cmac.tv. See you next time.